again today's proceedings are very nice. Summer welcome. This is what the summer should be like in Melbourne, not like that weather we had this morning or yesterday. My name is Chris Watson and I'm privileged to be here today as your selling auctioneer. I'm joined of course by the Ringwood team, Alan and Ruben, and of course Cameron, who's been handling your questions and queries and marketing of the property for the last 4 weeks. Well, we do sell it today by public auction, ladies and gentlemen. We do ask the successful bidder to come inside and execute the contracts that have been on display for the past 30 minutes and pay a 10% deposit upon signing of those contracts. Today's auction will, of course, it will be conducted in accordance with any rules and any additional conditions that were made available before the start of the auction. The auction rules prohibit an auctioneer from accepting any late bid or offers for the property after the property has been knocked down to the successful bidder. What that means, ladies and gentlemen, I'll give ample warning: first call, second call, third and final call. But when the gavel hits the paperwork, we can't accept any late bids or offers. The property will, of course, be sold at that price. If we do find ourselves in the position where we are below the vendor's reserve price and you are the highest bidder, that is a wonderful opportunity to put yourself in, and statistics would say that you will buy the property later this afternoon. Because what happens in that environment, ladies and gentlemen, is we deal exclusively with the highest bidder. What that means is you cut out the competition. We deal one-on-one with you and the vendor, and I can tell you after 10 years of experience of selling real estate, quite often we get the deal done shortly after the auction to that highest bidder. So in the land of auctions and the land of buying and selling real estate, if you want to be first, you really have to make sure that you are last when it comes to an auction. The vendors, of course, they do have a reserve price. As auctioneer, I'll indicate bidders on request. The law prohibits false bids and prohibits major disruptions by bidders and prohibits bidders from attempting to stop other bidders from bidding, and of course the law does provide fines of this conduct. The vendors, they do, so the rules do permit vendor bids. I'll make it really obvious and really simple. If I am going to make a bid on behalf of the vendor, in fact I'll make it so simple and so obvious, I'll even use the word vendor bid, and by law only I, as the auctioneer, may make a vendor bid. If you're wondering what this gentleman is doing, we're not we stream all of our auctions live on Facebook. Jump on our Facebook page, you can check out what's happening in the market, whether you're buying or selling. Perhaps you just want to keep abreast of things that are happening in your neck of the woods. Live auctions is the Facebook page. It's a great way to catch up on all the action that you missed out on the day from the comfort of your couch. What a wonderful opportunity, ladies and gentlemen, for the investors in the crowd. $390 to $440 per week is what we estimate the property would return on the rental market in its current condition. We do offer the property on a 60 to 90 day settlement. Very flexible there. You guys get to choose what settlement that you want, as long as it's between that 60 to 90 days. It's a beautifully renovated property. The kitchen to 12 months young. It is a wonderful property. 405 square metres of prime Mooroolbark dirt underpinning your family's future. Beautifully renovated throughout. As I said, meticulous gardens, a beautiful large grass area, which is looking supreme at this time of the year, of course. Ducted heating is with as well inside, and of course the shuttered blinds to add to the security, and of course keep that afternoon sun out. All in a great location. Schools are plenty, parks and public transport. It's a wonderful place to raise a family or start your property investment journey or your property ownership journey. Well, that's probably enough out of me. You've seen it, you loved it. Now's your chance to bid and buy it. I'll throw it over to you. Where do we go? Where do we get on the way? At 66 Greenslopes Drive here in the heart of Mooroolbark. Where do we start? Where do we go? Look for an opening bid perhaps for $450,000. Nights you can start there. I think we can all agree. Plenty of value there for $450,000. Call it 3 times with me, the vendor, $450,000. At $450,000 now, first call, $450,000. Second call, $450,000. Third and final time at $450,000. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this was expected. We've had a few parties, of course, interested people that unfortunately can't bid under auction conditions, do want to put in offers after this afternoon, subject to finance and those sort of things. We do say that auctions are a process, they're not an event. So we were expecting that. There are plenty of interested parties, few familiar faces here that aren't all neighbours. Of course, they can't bid under auction, but that doesn't mean they can't buy the property, because they can buy it this afternoon. If you are willing and are able to go unconditional, now is a great time to bid, because what happens there is you lock out the competition. You cut those people out of the negotiation. We deal with you exclusively. But you would have to bid to give yourself the opportunity to do that. At $450,000, I'll take a $10,000 rise if I can from there. Otherwise, we'll pass the property in on a vendor bid and move forward to the third stage of the auction campaign, which is to negotiate with all the parties and get a sold sticker up on that bad boy sign as soon as we can. So $450,000, any rise in there, I'll take it. At $450,000 now, 60-hour search, jump back in here. I'm happy to go with me, the vendor bid, and pass it in if we have. At $500,000 would be the vendor, that's where you need to be. We'll take offers above that First call at 500,000. Second call, third, and final call above 500,000. Well, ladies and gentlemen, what we're going to do, we're going to move on to our last stage now of negotiations. Of course, as I said, if you are interested in the property, which you know plenty of you are, come forward, speak to Cameron and the team. We'll take your offers, present them to the vendors, and I'm sure you'll see a sold sticker on that sign next time you drive down the Greenslopes Drive. Thank you very much. Have a nice afternoon and a Merry Christmas.